wait, what's that one? And they're holding flash and they look up and they go, how you doing, kids? And they're like, oh, it's like, it's okay, kids. It's me, your Grunkle Stan. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I also wanted to let you know that not only do I create content here on Class in the Glass, but I also stream content on my Twitch channel, Mr. Revan7. I play single-player games, multiplayer games, and I also do movie reviews and cartoon reviews as well. I also want to encourage you to check out my Patreon, Class in the Glass, where I offer audio commentaries, full reactions for movies, and also the ability to submit questions for my video casts and podcasts. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and enjoy the video. We got to go ahead and start the tune review for Gravity Falls Episode 3, Headhunters, chat. And we're starting out like any normal evening in the Mystery Shack, chat. Dipper and Mabel, they're watching their favorite television program, chat, Duck-tective. There has been a horrific murder, chat, and the only person that can solve it is a talking duck. And he goes in the body chat, he opens the person was murdered in a phone booth chat, and they've just been eviscerated, they've been dissected. Like they were split from goddamn balls and peen all the way up to the throat, chat. Everything is out and present. The killer, apparently, chat, he knows the human body well, knows it extremely well, has marked certain things, chat, and has taken other parts of him inside. And Duck Death is like, another one. Goddamn, this is one of the worst cases of all time. But we're going to fucking solve it. We're going to solve it together. And Dipper and Mabel, they're watching this shit. I was like, this is some goddamn good television. They can't believe it, chat. They're sharing popcorn, and they awkwardly keep hitting each other's hands because they want the fucking popcorn, chat, trying to stuff their fucking faces while watching some good Americana TV. And then Seuss, he walks on and he's like, hey, little dudes, I found a secret door. Would you like to see what's inside the secret door? And they're like, hell yeah, we do. And they get up, chat, and they walking over. Mabel, she doesn't know what the fuck anything is. She's just la, la, la the whole time. And eventually, they're like, Seuss, how'd you find this? He's like, well, little dudes, I was just fucking, sweeping because, your Grunkle Stan, he told me to start sweeping. And I came upon this door, found this knob on the ground, put it in, boom, they open it. And they walk inside, chat, and they see that, oh God, there's people inside. They're standing in there. Clearly, Grunkle Stan has been murdering the townsfolk and stuffing them, chat, for his own nefarious sex kink. That's the only thing I can think of. But no, chat, they're actually wax figures because they start noticing, like, wait a minute, that's Genghis Khan. That's Sherlock Holmes, and then these are all historical figures. And like Dipper, Dipper even... He starts noticing other people as well. It's like, oh, wow, it's crazy. And he's like, and then Mabel's like, wait, what's that one? And they're holding flash and they look up and they go, how you doing, kids? And they're like, oh, it's like, it's okay, kids. It's me, your Grunkle Stan. And then it cuts. It cuts to by the way, chat, the theme song to Gravity Falls, perfect, chat. So goddamn good. If you've ever heard, regular theme song, great. But and also the opening images that they use, the artwork, really fun. And they change it up every other episode. It's pretty cool. If you ever want to, but there's also, I watch these, or I listen to these epic scores on YouTube where people doing their own renditions of famous theme songs. And you have like the orchestral version of the Gravity Falls theme song, chat. Fucking amazing. So goddamn good. Chris Hirsch, what one? It was Catherine... full-bodied experience, man. It's going to be very hot, very sweaty streaming series. And so we cut, chat, and Grunkle Stan, he's calming them down after some. But Grunkle Stan looking all gross. He's got his boxer briefs on. They're way too small. You're seeing a very large and robust and engorged bump near Grunkle Stan's groin. No one wants to see that, chat. He's wearing just a sweat-stained wife beater. He's looking gross. And they're like, Grunkle Stan, what are you doing here? He's like, well, I saw the door was open, and I felt nostalgic. And they're like, why do you feel nostalgic, Grunkle Stan? It's because these are my wax figures. A part of my former wax figure exhibit at the Mystery Shack. And, the business was good for a time when I had them out there, but, people started getting bored seeing wax figures, and these are some of my favorites. You already pointed them out, Dipper. You got fucking Genghis Khan. You got goddamn Shakespeare. That pansy, you got him right there. And we also have a goblin man, I assume, and the goblin man, chat, is literally Larry King. Like former CNN commenter, interviewer Larry King. He's, I don't know, a goblin man or something. Love it. Love it, chat. And eventually he's like, but kids, we shall now see my favorite one, Abraham Lincoln. And then we see a chat, and Abraham Lincoln wax figure, he's just like, he's just melted into just a mound of wax. He goes, oh my God, Abe, John Wilkes Booth, it was you. Like he has a wax figure of John Wilkes Booth too. And apparently, chat, he was exposed to sunlight coming in through one of the windows. And he's like, oh, how the hell do we repair a wax figure? Ah, fuck it. Throw in the trash for the rest of my hopes and dreams. And Mabel's just like, hold on, Grunkle Stan. I am an arts and crafts master, okay? That's why I have this fucking hot glue gun stuck to my fucking skin. It's embedded in there. I can't do anything about it. He goes, that's true. Do you want to make me another wax figure, Mabel? She's like, I take it. Absolutely. It will be a arts and crafts challenge. He's like, go at it, kid. Just be sure to not snuff in the glue fumes, okay? You get high quick, but you keep doing that, you'll lose your sense of smell. And so then, Mabel, she starts working on this thing. Dipper, he is observing. He's helping out his sister because he's a good little brother. He's a good brother. They're good kids. And eventually, she creates this masterpiece. She finishes it, and it's done. We did it. And they bring in Grunkle Stan, and he's like, oh my God. It's beautiful. And he sees the statue, chat, and it's him. Because Mabel, she wanted to do something for her Grunkle because she loves her Grunkle, and she knows that the thing Grunkle Stan loves most is himself. And so that's why she made it. And it's sparkly and shit. He's like, this is the best present I've ever had in my life. The Wax Museum is open again. We're going to have a grand reopening. They're like, yay. And they fucking have the town coming by, Chad. Like, fucking, there's going to be a wax figure museum reopening and free pizza. Everyone's fucking jazzed about it, Chad. Everyone's goddamn jazzed about it. And so they have a big special meeting. They got the press there too, Chad. They got the Gravity Falls press. They got all these good guys here. And Grunkle, fucking goddamn Dipper, he's working with Wendy, and they're taking all the cash. And she's like, so why the hell are you doing this? Because your Grunkle Stan paid me. He's like, paid me too. They're laughing, Chad. They got some chemistry. They have an age difference, Chad, but they clearly have some affection towards each other. We're going to talk about that in the future. I have some fucking opinions about that. But eventually, Grunkle Stan, he's like, I want to thank the entire town for coming here. I know that you love me. I'm one of your greatest residents, and I appreciate the support of the grand reopening of the Grunkle Stan Wax Museum featured at the Mystery Shack. Everything is there. There are no refunds. Okay, there's no refunds. Thank you. And he starts taking questions from the press. He got like this very hot, very curvaceous female reporter, chat, a very curvaceous Latina female reporter, and she's asking all these questions like, enough of you. And he goes like, you small dwarf man. And it's Toby, Chad. It's Toby, the goddamn reporter for the Gravity Falls Gazette. And you can tell he's a loser. And he's asking, Grunkle Stan all these tough questions. And he's like, Toby, I'm not going to answer your questions when you're literally shoving a fucking turkey baster. You're pretending a turkey baster is a microphone, Toby. Goes, true. It's like, people are fucking nuts. And then the reporter, Chad, the female reporter, she asks him again. It's like, now, I think we all been told that there was going to be free fucking pizza. Where's the pizza? And Grunkle Stan's like, I don't have any. And they just fucking revolt, chat. They just start tearing apart everything. It's a goddamn massacre. And Grunkle Stan's like, get the money, abandon the kids, throw the kids to them, just take the money. And they get the money and they throw Dipper and Mabel to them, ripping them apart and shit. Actually, everyone leaves, and they're pissed off because there's no refunds, as we all know, chat. There are no refunds at the Mystery Shack, so fucking Grunkle Stan, he made a fucking killing today, and he owes it all to the fucking Grunkle Stan statue. He showed it off. No one gives a shit about the Grunkle Stan statue except him, and he's fucking just hanging out within his fucking living room at this point, and he goes, oh, no, listen, you guys did fantastic today. Thank you for all your support. And I want to thank one person in particular for everything that they've done. And it's you, which is me. This is Grunkle Stan Wax Figure. Mabel's like, but what about? He's like, and you too, honey. I love you. By the way, I missed this one scene when Grunkle Stan brings Mabel up to the stage to explain her piece. And she says, yes, I put my blood, sweat, tears, and other bodily fluids into this thing. They're like, what? And she's like, yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ. What other bodily fluids are we talking about, Mabel? Jesus. I love how they got away with so much stuff in this show, Chad. It's great. There's another joke in here later on, which is pretty funny. And so they all go up to the fucking bed, chat, and Grunkle stands like, I need to poop really bad. And he gets up, chat, he goes, and then you see this fucking mysterious figure come out of nowhere, chat, and he's had an axe. Oh no, he's gonna kill Grunkle Stan, but we cut Grunkle Stan, and he returns from the poopa, chat. He goes, oh my God! And the Grunkle Stan wax figures, chat, his head is completely severed. It's gone. It's severed and gone. He's like, no! And Dipper and fucking Mabel and Seuss, I don't know why Seuss there. Seuss is somehow living there. I don't know why. He's there. They call the police. Police are like, yeah, we don't give a shit about this. This case is just unsolvable. Dipper's like, all right, wait a minute. You know, I guess I'm going to try. And they're like, nope, not going to try. And they're like, well, I'm going to try to do it. I can, you know, I know a few things about detective work. They're like, you, this adorable little child. He's like, I'm not adorable. And he like sneezes and goes, chew. Mabel goes, oh my God, that was precious. You sneeze like a kid. He's like, no, I don't. No, I don't. And so he's like, don't worry, Grunkle Stan. I'm going to solve the mystery for you. And he's like, you know, that could be dangerous. You're talking to all these weirdos in town. But thankfully, I'm your Grunkle, not your parents. So avenge me, kids. Avenge me. And so they're going to avenge him, chap. And so they figured out, like, we got to interview all these fucking people in town to see if they may have been responsible for the murder of Grunkle Stan wax figure. And they notice some clues, chat. They find the axe behind the chair. It's like, well, clearly someone likes to use an axe. Okay, well, we know someone uses a goddamn axe. The goddamn Wendy's dad. He's the macho man. He's always using an axe, chat. They also notice that one of the footprints they find, one of the shoes, has a big fucking hole in it. Chat, like, so this person clearly uses an axe, and they have a hole in one of their shoes. All right, the clues are coming together. And so they go throughout the entire town, Chad. They start interviewing people. They first go to the Manly Man Bar, Chad, to interview Wendy's dad. And the thing is, though, it's 18 and up, Chad. If you're not 18 years old, you can't get fucking in there. It's not how it's going to work. And they're like, shit. Mabel's like, don't worry, bro. I got this. She makes him some fake IDs, chat. And she's like, I got it. She goes to the fucking bouncer, chat. She's like, here you go. I put googly eyes on him. He's like fucking googly-eyed. She's like shaking, like, look at them shake. And he's like, you know what? That's fucking adorable. Go on in. Go on in, kids. And they go in there. People just pummeling each other to death, chat. It's horrible. It's fucking teeth. There's teeth. There's a layer of teeth and blood and viscera on the floor, chat. And it's sticky. It's very sticky. And eventually they find Wendy's dad and they go, sir, where were you the night of, at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time? Or no, I guess it would be Pacific Standard Time. Did you murder my Grunkle's wax figure? He's like, no, I was punching that clock at 10. You mean you're getting out of work? He's like, no, I was literally punching that clock. And he points outside to this fucking clock, which he has punched. And she goes, oh, shit, so that would mean you were punching this clock here and not out of work, so you are not the suspect. What about this axe? I mean, it's clear your axe. He goes, no, that axe is used by left-handed people, and I use my righty, man. Right is right. And they go, shit. And so they go through the rest of the town, chat, interviewing all these people, and it's, again, they all have alibis, very decisive alibis, and like, okay, shit, well, wait a minute. There's only one other person left. Oh my God! And they call the police, chat, and they're raiding the Gravity Falls Gazette, chat, the office and home of Toby, the turkey baster guy. It was him. And they fucking barge on in there, chat. They barge on in there, and they go, freeze! He goes, ah! And they just shoot him because, that's what they do. They don't shoot him, chat, because they just didn't want to do it. Want to do in that case. That was be a little too fucking real. Be a little too goddamn real. And so they go on in there, chat. And they're like, where were you the night of the fucking... They saying, like, you're the one who killed Grunkle Stan. And Dipper, he starts laying down the facts, chat, because he notices something. And it's like, you had so much resentment towards Grunkle Stan. You thought this was going to be the big fucking story you were talking about in your papers the entire time. And this was going to save you. And you were there, you asked all your questions, and Grunkle Stan denied you. And we noticed, because we noticed, chat, in the previous footage, he has a big fucking hole in his shoe, just like the footprints in Grunkle Stan's living room. They're like, oh my God. And so Dipper's like, you were resentful towards Grunkle Stan, and you destroyed the wax figure statue to then make a new big story out of it, because that was like his next big issue, is that Grunkle Stan statue has been demolished. It's been vandalized. And Toby's just like, it's not true. It's not. He's like, prove it. He's like, oh, jeez. Oh, God. And they're like, he's like, what's wrong? He's like, I can prove it, but it's gonna get a little weird. And they're like, how weird? And he's like, sex stuff. And they're like, oh, God. Because chat, I'm like, this is a children's show. He goes to his closet and he opens it up, chat, and he takes out a life-size doll of that thick female Latina reporter we saw earlier, chat. And he's like, I spent the evening with her. And they're like, oh, my God. And you can even tell, chat, because he's like, I have video evidence. And he opens up a drawer, chat, filled with VHS tapes, which makes it extra creepy. VHS tapes with fucking dates on them, chat, just dates. That's all it is. He's like, it's this one. And he puts it in, chat, and it's just him. I mean, they were like, okay, we got to get this past the censors. I'm like, I'm shocked that you were able to do this. Him just taking this thing out and just smooching it. Smooching with, oh, I love you. I forget what her name is, like Renee. Might have been Renee, chat. Put some respect on her name. What the hell's her goddamn name? What's her name, chat? Her name is, I want to give her some goddamn respect. I don't know her name, chat. We're going to call her Renee for the sake of convenience. But, Serenade, that's it. Sandra Jimenez. Thank you, Troy. Appreciate that. So he's fucking making all this in. They're like, well, shit, that's fucking weird and gross. And then the police start laughing at Mabel and Dipper. It's like, yeah, you're losers. You can solve the case. And even fucking Toby goes like, yeah, you guys are big fat losers. Meanwhile, you just hear the video going, It's like, oh, God. And Dipper and Mabel, they hang their heads in defeat. And they go back to the Mystery Shack. And they're just like, man, this is so disappointing. But everything that happened. And we thought we could solve the case. And eventually they go to Grunkle Stan. He's preparing a funeral for Grunkle Stan, the wax figure. He's very, very sad. He's doing a eulogy, chat. But he can't finish it. He's like, I can't finish it. Oh, God, and he runs away. And the wax figures are also there. They're in their own seating positions. And Dipper's just like, oh, this is, I could have sworn that he was the one. It just, all the clues just lined up. And I just don't get it. And eventually he goes to the Grunkle Stan wax figure, and he looks at its shoes, and he's like, wait a minute. There's a hole in his shoe. And Mabel goes, oh, yeah, they all have that hole in their shoe, so you can right them. You put a pole inside their leg so they stand upright. And then Dipper's like, wait a minute. No, it wasn't anyone in the town that did it. It was, and the fucking in the back goes, yes. It was us. And Sherlock Holmes, the wax figure, just stands the fuck up and goes, it was all of us. And you're like, oh my God, you're alive. He's like, yes, you're Grunkle Stan, that piece of shit. He bought us decades ago at a garage. And we cut to a fucking flashback, with like old-timey effects, chat, like, video static and everything, black and white. He bought us at a garage sale, and like, I don't know where the hell he is, but this very nebbishy, just like guys, like, he opens up the garage, he's like, I can sell you these wax figurines, but they come at a terrible cost. And Grunkle Stan's like, $20, Jesus Christ, I'm just gonna fucking wait until you're done, and I'll come back and get them later. He goes, what do you mean? I'm telling you, I'm gonna rob you. And he just punches the shit out of that man. He grabs all the statues and runs shit. He's a piece of shit. And he's like, and forever we've lived with your uncle when he showcased us to the people of Gravity Falls, and where their dead fish eyes stared up at us in awe. And we every moon, every waxing moon they call it. I guess it's like a equivalent of a full moon. Every waxing moon, we'd come alive and we just fuck with your uncle. We would eat all of his goddamn food. We would just move his shit around. We just fucking take pictures with him until you wake up and go and just freeze in place. And it's funny, too, chat, because the voice of Sherlock Holmes is John Oliver. John Oliver, and the Larry King figurine also is voiced by Larry King, which is awesome. They have all these other voice actors, too, voicing these characters. At this point, and they're like, oh, so why did you, because Dipper's wondering, like, so why did you cut the head off of the Grunkle Stan statue? And they're like, that was a mistake. We were literally trying to kill your Grunkle Stan. They're like, what? Oh, yeah, we want to fucking decapitate him. They're like, oh, my God. And Sherlock Holmes is like, well, at this point, you guys know way too much, so I have to kill all of you. And Seuss, he's fucking running. He already took off a while ago, chat. He didn't abandon the kids. He just went after the console Grunkle Stan. And so, by the way, there's a fucking Coolio wax figure, too. which is very funny. And all the wax figures just start coming at him, chat. And Dipper and Mabel are like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? And they realize, wait, they're made out of wax. We can fuck them up. And they just start grabbing fucking samurai swords and shit. And it's like Kill Bill, chat. It's like the scene in goddamn Kill Bill. Elliot Hobb, we're in the scene. I'm setting up the scene scenario for you, Elliot. So we just learned that the wax statues have come to life and tried to kill Grunkle Stan, but he's unaware. And now they're trying to kill Dipper and Mabel. The thing is, though, Dipper and Mabel have realized they're made of fucking wax. We can cut them to pieces. It doesn't even matter. And then they pull off a Kill Bill Volume 1 type of scenario when she's fighting all the Crazy 88 people, chat. And so they just start, it starts cutting them all in half. They're like, ah, ah, like these little children, chat, are viciously tearing all these people apart. Like they disembowel Coolio, chat. Genghis Khan, his face melts on itself, and he's like, he can't even do anything. He's just blind. He's hitting walls and shit. He's like, my eyes, just screaming. Madden Curie, she's dead. All the figures of chat. Larry King, he gets decapitated. Terrible, chat. Shakespeare, but but Sherlock Holmes, he's the most competent one, and him and Dipper are locked in a duel. And eventually, Dipper, he's running away because he loses his samurai sword. And Mabel, she's overcome by the wax, chat, and she's suffocated to death. So Mabel's gone. And so at this point, Dipper, he runs upstairs. Sherlock Holmes is hunting him, and he's like, shit, what the hell am I doing? I'm cornered, but he realizes, he looks outside, he's like, oh, I remember. And he goes outside, and Sherlock Holmes is like, you can't beat me, Dipper. I'm Sherlock motherfucking Holmes. He says bleeding Holmes, chat, but the way he said it, he meant to say fucking or motherfucking Sherlock Holmes. And he goes, I can't beat you, but he can. He goes, what? And he looks over, chat, and the sun is rising. He goes, you little shit. And then he starts melting. He goes, no. And then he's like, Dipper's like, achoo. And the wax figure goes, oh my God, that was adorable. Those constables were right. You do sneeze like a kitten. And he falls to the ground and splats, chat, dead. Eventually, Dipper, he's like, my sister, I gotta recover her dead body. He goes in there, chat, but Mabel's fine. She's just burning the rest of the bodies, chat, while they're still alive. She's just throwing the severed heads of people inside. Then Shakespeare's like, please, I can tell you a soliloquy. He's like, can you rhyme? Can you make a new one up right now? He goes, nope. And she just starts burning him. He screams to death, chat. It's horrible. Eventually, Dipper comes in. He goes, so Sherlock Holmes melted. He goes, yeah, they're all dead too. And he's like, did you make sure to burn all the bodies? Mabel's like, oh, yeah, no, definitely. They're all gone. And then we cut to a fucking, goddamn, great chat. For like the AC unit, like an air duct, and where the severed head of Larry King is looking at them. He's like, I'm always watching. And he just hops back into the great chat. Just disappears in the shadow. It's like, the fuck is that about? Eventually, chat, they find the severed head of Grunkle, of wax Grunkle Stan, not actual Grunkle Stan, and they repair the statue. And they bring it back to Grunkle Stan. Grunkle Stan's like, oh, kids, you found it. Oh, I got to give you guys some noogies. I got to give you some affectionate noogies. And they're like, oh, Grunkle Stan. They're all bonding and shit. And eventually the Popo, they stop by, chat. They park outside, Grunkle Stan's window. And, the main guy, he's just like, so did you solve your case yet? You know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to take a nice long sip of my hot boiling coffee. And they're like, and he takes a long fucking sip. And Dipper's like, yeah, actually we did solve. We found the head. And he goes, oh, and he spits all this boiling hot coffee into the face of his deputy. And he goes, just like his skin's boiling and peeling over. Chat, it's horrific. And then he vomits. He vomits on his superior officer, chat. And so now they're just like, the guys they're vomiting into each other's mouths at this point. And it's horrible. It's horrible. And they eventually drive away because they're embarrassed and also in incredible physical pain. And then they leave. And then, chat, after all that is said and done, Grunkle Stan and the kids, they're like, hey, let's go have some dinner after watching those two adult men vomit into each other's mouths. And that sounds great, Grunkle Stan. We get like a little epilogue thing where Mabel's like, what should I wear today? Should I wear sparkles or llama fur? And then the severed head of Larry King's like, go with the llama hair, Mabel. The llama hair. And then it's like, you know what? You're right, Dipper, the llama hair. And Dipper's like, is that fucking Larry King? And then it ends. Gravity Falls, episode 3, chat. Headhunters. Amazing episode. So much goddamn fun.